What's up, Imp Knights? In this video, we are going to finish Black Lightning Season 1. That's right, the season finale. Yeah! But, actually, before I actually start this video, I do want you guys to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and post a comment below. We can have a discussion about the end of Black Lightning Season 1. Okay, so just to give you guys a brief recap, and it is that Khalil invaded the school, and him and Tobias end up fighting Black Lightning, and then Khalil ends up hitting Black Lightning in his chest, knocking him unconscious pretty much, practically temporarily killing him, I should say killing him, because she kind of revived him. Jennifer, but it seemed like he still went into a coma. So let's fast forward to the episode where it give us a little flashback 30 years ago, where Gambi talks to Al Pierce, Jefferson's father, in the rain, and what he was telling Al is that he leaked it to him, to leak the information to Al, so he could put it in his report instead of exposing every single thing, which Al said that he did it for his son, and that he wants his son to live in a better place than where he's growing up in, which is cool. We understand that. We also see in this flashback a young Jefferson on his powers first activating, and the first manifestation of his absorbing ability when he ran from the cops, and when he ends up running from the cops, he ends up running into an electrical fence after he zapped the cops when they had grabbed a hold of him, because Freeland was rioting because of someone, unarmed black male, was killed, and he runs, absorbs electricity, and then Gambi finds him. But then we are back to the present, and as like I said earlier, Jefferson is in a coma. So while Jefferson's in a coma, Gambi has a little conversation with Jennifer about Khalil, and how that Khalil may not be the same person, and that she has to be careful whenever she's around him. But a 16-year-old girl, for the most part, isn't going to really listen to her elders, because at the end of the day, she wants to see Khalil, she loves Khalil, and she wants to help Khalil. So even though he was talking to her, it went one ear out the other, selective listening, which, like I said, we all know. Then we head to Tobias. Now, Tobias talks to Khalil, and what he talks to Khalil about is Martin, and how that they need to act and get rid of Martin, because he felt like Martin is in power for far too long, and he wants to run free. So the best course of action is to kill Martin and his team. So they start plotting on how to do that, and he specifically tells Khalil, what is Khalil supposed to do? And Khalil said, well, I guess we're just gonna have to, pretty much he agreed, I'll have to take him out. So that's the thing. Then we also then get Martin himself, who talks to his team, and what we learn is that Martin has been doing this for over 30 years, and how he's trying to understand how they can't get a hold of Black Lightning. And one of the things he ends up learning was that Lala, who's a low-class drug dealer, has some information on Black Lightning, or not, more specifically Tobias, because he's also after Tobias as well as Black Lightning, and he plans on killing Tobias. And what his team told him is that they can extract information from Lala. Martin wasn't really too happy about that. He wasn't really too keen on it. But he said, okay, well, if this is the best you got, let's find this guy and let's ask him about the test subjects and where the whereabouts of Tobias. So while during their plot, we get another flashback of Jefferson's childhood and how he got into a fight because of what the kid said, and he didn't like it, and he got suspended. And the saying of who life is it's mine, and how you're going to live it by any means necessary. Jefferson got that from his father, and then he told him to to read the entire Constitution, and he's gonna get quizzed later. Like, dang, dog, you gotta read the Constitution, man. Like, that's crazy. But that's how you know that Al had a profound effect on Jefferson when he was a kid. And he has such a strong father figure that the character we see now is based off of his father, which is a excellent thing. I like that they put that in there because I've said this before, you don't see that too often, especially when it comes to African American characters in general. You don't see it too often, so that's a good thing that they're doing that. Now, the craziest part is that we're not specifically told how he got to Lala, or I shouldn't say how he got to Lala. I should say when Lala was talking to his goon, because his goon beat up an underling. He was explaining why him beating up the goon doesn't do anything, and then that's when Tobias calls him and messes with him by giving him the code word. The devil holds the cards, which puts Lala under his control. Had Lala come towards him and then laughs at him, make fun of him. And then when Lala tries to attack him, he gets sucker punched. But like I said, the crazy part about that whole situation is that Martin and them end up getting Lala. Now, I'm assuming that Tobias must have set it up to where Lala could be found. That's my only explanation, because they don't really explain that, and I think they should explain that. But they started asking, Martin and his group started asking Lala some questions, and Lala was like, I'm not telling you, or more specific, I can't tell you, because he has commands on him. And next you know, he spits out a grenade. Half of this crew, besides two other of Martin's group, walk out. I mean, they literally just say, oh, he got a grenade, and like two people stay behind. I ain't gonna say what two, it was a little suspect, but the two people stayed behind while everybody else walked out. I mean, they literally just walked out casually, and as they casually walked out, Lala blew up. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Now, getting into Jefferson's flashback, he ends up seeing his dad, and they have a heartfelt talk. And we learned that Jefferson pretty much blamed himself for his father's death. It felt like he should have did more. And his father, Al, was just pretty much saying, you did help me by staying where I told you to stay. In the back, hiding under the bed where no one can see you. And he pretty much told Jefferson, you still got work to do. You can't stay here. So when he comes back, when he goes upstairs, I should say, he ends up awakening what's excite his family, because this man was in a coma. Now, in movies and in comic book lore and all that, they never really be specific on the timeline. Like, was it a week he was in a coma? Was it a day? Was it 2 days? I'm going to just go on a limb and say it was at least a week or maybe 2 weeks he was in a coma, and they were trying to help him out of that coma. That's what I would say. Now, I'm not 100% positive because it's never really specifically stated, but that's what we're going to go with. Now, what we end up learning is that Tobias ends up taking Cyanide Khalil somewhere, and they end up checking on what the ASA is doing. And what they end up learning is that the ASA has made a move on the Pierce family, because the ASA, Martin and his group, end up finding out where the Pierce family was hiding, and they went on an offense. So while they were going on an offense on the Pierce family, Tobias and his group went on the offense against Martin and the ASA. So it was like a three-way battle between the Pierce family versus the ASA, and the ASA versus Tobias and his team. So which was, I mean, it was cool, because what you end up seeing is Jefferson no longer had his powers when he got back up. So he couldn't make a charge. And as they were headed, Gambit was like, yo, I'll be the distraction. You guys get out of here, because no one will care if I die. And Jefferson put on his Black Lightning suit and then decided he would be the distraction, which no one was happy with, because he had like some stuff that could give him some charges to look like he had powers, until Jennifer emotions ran amok because she was so scared for her father, and she ended up exploding with electricity, and her power manifested itself again. And she did the smart thing. She ends up running into her dad, and he ends up absorbing the electricity, which of course he got his powers back. And so him and Thunder end up, slapping around some of the ASA. Actually, Lynn did some work too. She put in some serious work also. Like, she literally shot a man with a shotgun, and it literally surprised her daughter